Okay, okay, let's see how this goes. Okay, guys, sorry about that. That has never happened to me before. So I am just gonna go ahead and make sure you guys are able to get in here. That was crazy. So I'm just gonna wait a few minutes here while you guys join. I want to see my participants. Here we go. Okay. Having technical difficulties because technology. Okay, so I'm just gonna wait here for you guys to pop in. Wow, that was crazy. Ooh, there we go. Mm. Hello, Maribel. Good. We have someone in here. Yay. Okay. Here we go. All right. Okay, so I want to make sure. Here we go. I'm just gonna wait a minute to let everybody in. I had some very weird technical difficulties that has never happened to me before. Was not letting me go live. It was so weird. Okay, Maribel, can you hear me okay? Let me know in the chat if you can. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, Maribel, we're just going to wait a couple minutes for the rest of the people to get in here. What a morning. I've been on here for 15 minutes trying to figure this out. It's technology, though. It's good times. Okay. Hopefully everybody can get in. Okay, you guys, some of you, I am messaging you to go ahead and jump. Okay. I sent out a Zoom link. Click that in the Facebook group. All right. Here we go. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started because we're already starting late. I am so sorry about that. Okay, so here we go. Make sure everybody's getting in. That was super frustrating. Okay. So. So, okay, everyone. So we are going to go ahead and get started. Again, I am so sorry about that. So here we go. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and share my screen and start the class since it did not go the way I thought it was going to go. And that is just how things are sometimes. So what we're going to do is upload this to the Facebook group afterwards, and I will send out a link with this replay so you can still watch it for life. Okay. Perfect. Just tag everybody here. We got Maribel in. We're going to need Ashley. We're going to need Janet. We're going to need Michelle. We're going to need oh, she's not going in this group for some reason. Okay. All right, girlfriend. Let's do it. Minimize. Hey. All right. Welcome finally to Lash Line Unlocked. Wow, that was so crazy. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So this is actually a good learning lesson for you here because sometimes things don't work out the way you think they're going to work out. And what I have learned in my time doing this, especially being online and having a product line, is that actually is the way that it goes. It just is the way that it goes. So a lot of times we think it's going to go one way and it doesn't. And we think that that means something's gone wrong. It doesn't mean that something's gone wrong. It just means that that's how things typically go, right? Sometimes they don't go as planned, and that seems to be par for the course, at least for me. So this is just how we do it. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we are going to get started. Welcome to Lash Line Unlocked. I am thrilled that you guys are here. Maribel is just here right now. Hopefully everyone else figures it out. So I am super happy that you are here. This is going to be an excellent class. I'm going to teach you how I started my line, how you can start your line, and I think this is going to be very helpful to you. Maribel, will you let me know if you can also see my face? If you could just tell me in the chat, because I can't tell if you can or not. Clearly not tech savvy. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to move this over here. Okay, so you want to start a product line. So I'm so thrilled you've decided to do this, to take this leap and expand your business. If you're here, if anyone is here yet, other than Maribel, let me know in the chat where you're from if you have started your product line already. If not, you're starting fresh, all good. Let me know where you're kind of at in this journey. If you are brand new, just starting, have had one and been trying to sell it, what's kind of going on in your world, let me know. So today we're going to cover how to start your product line. Okay, this is the first class. There will be more after this one to continue to support you in your journey. And the next class obviously is optional, but it will definitely help you. Some housekeeping first. I would love for you to ask a ton of questions as we go along. This is a perfect opportunity for you to ask questions while I am here live with you. There are no dumb questions. If you have a question, other people probably do as well. I'm just making sure everybody's in here. Okay. Cool. This is the perfect time to ask, okay? In today's class, I'm anticipating 1 hour to 90 minutes. I will leave an additional 30 minutes regardless afterwards for people to ask more questions. Once the class is over, you'll have a couple, like 2 to 3 days in the group to continue to ask questions in the Facebook group, and I'll be in and out of there answering your questions as well. After that 2 to 3 days, I won't be in the group answering questions anymore. If you want to do continued mentorship or you still want to work on your product line and you want someone there with you, you can DM me privately and let me know that that's something that you're interested in, and we can go from there, okay? So I want you to keep something in mind. Today, I am going to be teaching you a lot. I'm going to be giving you a ton of information. I want you to take notes. I want you to screenshot these as much as you want to. Take pictures with your phone. If you take a picture and my face is in it, please don't do me dirty when I'm making a weird face. If you do, it's fine. But If you do that, tag me on Instagram. And it's also good to let your audience know that you're continuing your education. People follow you and they want to see that you're leading the way for yourself first. Okay. So feel free to share that. You can take pictures of the presentation, ask questions, all that good stuff. Okay. All right. So here we go. Okay. We're going to be covering today why you are starting your line and what to expect. Okay. How to start it, the benefits of having your line. I'm just going to move a couple things over here so that I can see. How to choose your audience and your products, how to do your own research and development, what factors to look for when you are choosing a manufacturer, how much money to have saved up, different growth paths that fit your lifestyle and your own type of selling and business, and what your life will actually look like when you have a line. I don't think a lot of people think about this, and it's something that you do want to be thinking about before you move forward in creating your own line. I'm going to teach you a rapid start process that I created. And I'm also going to go over licensing, insurance, and trademarking. Okay. We will talk lightly about branding, content, and preparation as well. But my goal for you for this masterclass is that by the end of this, I want you to be able to have a realistic timeline goal. So I want you to know when you can start to expect to begin selling, understand what you need in order to begin. I want you to be able to choose your own growth path and to focus on it from there. And you'll be able to choose your product today to start the process. Now, the reason that I have the growth path in this entire presentation and in this training is because what I see a lot and what I saw for myself too is that people tend to try to maximize all these different avenues of growing their business. And it's really best if you just choose one path and focus on it. Same with content channels. It's really easy to be like, I want to be on Facebook. I want to be on Instagram. I want to be TikTok. I want to be on YouTube. It's so much better to get really, really good at one thing and then branch off to another, because all of those habits and all the things that you've learned are already ingrained. Okay, I'm going to keep moving along here. So first, I want to briefly share my story with you, okay? And 1 second, I'm going to turn off the sound machine. Okay. And I'm also going to check real quick and make sure no one's having issues in the group. Hopefully more people make it in, but it might just be you and me, sister, and that is totally fine. Okay, so my story briefly is my name is Erica. I currently take clients 4 days a week. I have a product line and I have a training business. I create online courses and I do in-person trainings, and I've been a lash artist since 2015. So I actually started my lash line just 3 years into business. I started in 2018 and I did zero work in promoting it. What actually happened is I got all my products ready. I got my online storefront ready. And I was telling my husband, like, what if I sell out of products, like right away? And he's like, what are you talking about? Right. So I was like, yay, we have another person. Janeth, you made it. Amazing. Okay. Welcome, welcome. We just started, Janeth, so you're good. Sorry about that. I was having major technical difficulties. Zoom doesn't like me today. So when I started, like I said, I thought people were going to be flooding into my product line. Like I told my husband, like, what if I run out of products? And he's like, all right, crazy person, like that's not going to happen. And he was right in a loving way. I didn't promote anything. I sort of just thought it was going to happen. And that is not a good way to begin your brand. So these are some of my original logos, my original photos. And as you can see, the first, year, so that was 2018, I was primarily just using my own products. When I decided maybe I should actually start marketing and selling a little bit, the first year, 2021, I made $2,000, $2,094.17 the entire year. I wouldn't call that a win. The next year I decided I'm going to actually take this seriously. I'm going to actually promote my products. I'm going to do events. I'm going to try and get this going. And in that first year, 2022, last year, I made $13,000. So just over $1,000 a month. I just want to point this out to you guys because it just shows you that, I mean, do you like a $13,000 raise a year? Most people don't even get that. That's a big raise, right? So an extra $1,000 a month can really help your life. It did help mine. And that was with minimal marketing. I just decided I'm going to try, I'm going to start doing things, and it quickly started the ball rolling. Now we're in 2023 and 6 months in, I've already pretty much hit, well, it's over this now, but 12,000 in the first 6 months. So I'm on track to double last year's. And I want to show you what I did that actually moves the needle, how to get it started so that you can start your own line and actually see if it's something that you want as well. Okay. As you can see, my branding has improved and yours will too. The reason that I point this out as well is because you don't have to have everything perfect to start. I just want you to get going. So first, we're going to talk about why you're starting your line and what to expect. Okay. So I also want to say I am a lash artist, not a lawyer. I cannot offer you any legal advice here, but all I can offer is my own experience, what has worked for me. It may not be suitable for you. I want you to take whatever you feel here that pulls at you and tugs at you and feels right for you. And that's what I want you to apply. So when you start your line, I'm kind of curious why you guys want to start your line. So if you can put in the chat what your goal is in start line, let me know. When I started my line, I thought I was going to be like a big lash brand right away. I thought I was going to be selling products and training 24/7 and all of that. I thought I was just going to like blow up. 200,000 followers. Here I come. Once I began, I realized that that takes a lot of work, first of all, which is fine. But I realized I could actually keep this really minimal while providing extra income for myself and my family. So what does my life look like today? So I'm in my suite now. I take clients 4 days a week. I take 3 to 4 clients a day. I typically work 8 to 2:30 or 8 to 3. And I have Thursdays off. Thursday is the day I use for this online kind of stuff. And in my suite, I have all of my products. Okay, so I bring in between $1,000 to $2,000 a month in my product line. And my typical day looks like this. So I would get to work. If I have product orders from the night before, I print out labels, I package them, and I just set them aside. I take my clients. When I'm done, I take everything to the post office and drop it off. And that's my day. So that additional income can be actually really minimal work. The work is you're going to be putting in a lot of legwork at the beginning. I'm not going to sugarcoat that at all. The beginning will be more legwork. And it will require some capital and savings. And I will share with you what I think that you need to have saved up in order to do that. But once it's running, it's just more maintenance and marketing. It's maintenance and marketing. So you're shipping and you're marketing. You're shipping and you're marketing. If you can improve your products, of course you improve your products. If you want to bring on another product, you can bring on another product, right? In the beginning, it will be more work, but it definitely is. It's like a mountain. You're going to get to the top of the mountain and then it's going to kind of go like this. You're going to be leveling out. Okay. Does that make sense for everybody so far? We're feeling good. Okay, great. Okay. The other thing before we start is I want you to understand the launching a product line can be a little bit daunting. Okay. what I noticed with anything that's new is it starts to feel confusing and overwhelming. I would love for you today to accept that it's supposed to feel that way. Instead of feeling like, oh my God, this is confusing, this is overwhelming, I want you to be like, okay, this is confusing, it's a little overwhelming, and I'm just gonna like walk through it. I kind of want you to accept that this may feel a little big, but it's supposed to because it's new. And I promise you, once you start getting the ball rolling, it's going to feel really, really comfortable and it's all going to be good. But just accept that that's supposed to be how it feels. Okay. I'm looking for B minus work. We don't need to have perfect branding right away. We don't need to have perfect content right away. I want you guys to accept B minus work. You can always improve what you've done. And the reason I say that is because I want you to move things forward without worrying about them being perfect. People care more about the value that you're giving them in your products and your services and your offerings than if all the fonts match, than if all the colors match in your branding. They care about, am I being helped? Are you guiding me? Are you moving me along? That's what they care about. So I want you to keep that in mind. I want you guys to take messy action here and kind of embrace that. And I am going to actually do something real quick here. I'm gonna pop that close. Perfect. Now we're not going to have any more of those. Okay. So quickly, we're going to go over first the benefits of having your own line. Okay. A lot of people don't tell you about this, but I want you to also keep in mind in the beginning, sales will slowly trickle in. It will be slow in the beginning, and that's okay. You're still going to probably be using your own products, which is a huge cost savings. So keep that in mind. They're good for personal use. If you're doing trainings, you're going to save a ton of money by having your own products. If you have a salon with employees, you're going to save a ton of money by having your own product line. This is also going to give you a ton of business and marketing experience. And I also want you guys to know everything you do in your business is an opportunity for you to find out what you're good at and what you're an expert in. So if you're not sure if something is going to be worth it, like, is it going to be worth me doing this? Is this going to be something that I even want to do long term? I want you to shift that thinking, and I want you to look at everything you do as this is an opportunity for me to see what I'm good at. This is an opportunity for me to see where I excel and where I'm an expert. Okay. And I'm assuming that everybody in here is looking to start a lash product line. But I want you to keep in mind that this does apply to other things. I have also started a skincare product. This applies to all of any line. If you're wanting to do merchandise, clothing, apparel, whatever, this applies to that as well. I started a skincare thing and it was the same exact process. So you guys can really be creative and do this with anything. Here we go. Are you guys excited? Feeling good? Okay. So the first thing you're going to do is I want you to choose your audience. And the reason that I say that is because many of us here are lash artists. You're not going to be selling. So for a long time now, you've been selling to your clients. You've been selling services and offerings to clients. You're going to need to shift your marketing. So if you are no longer serving your clients, now your audience is lash artists. This is important. The reason this is important is because your marketing needs to shift. So there's a few things that you can do. I've done both. You can shift your marketing on your current platform and start marketing to your new audience, or you can create a new platform. So what I mean by that is I had Simply Lash Phoenix is for my clients. That's what I had forever. But that was for my clients. So I started a new Instagram for lash artists called simplylash.us. your messaging will be so different. So I could have started marketing to lash artists on Simply Lash Phoenix on the original Instagram I had. But I'm still taking clients. So for me, it didn't make sense. It made sense for me to have two. So you can choose what you want to do, but do know that if you're going to shift your marketing to a new audience on the same platform, there's going to be a lull in engagement and responses and a little bit of confusion because your audience is like, what? I thought you were selling me lash services and now you're talking to lash artists. Like, what's going on? So you either need to communicate on your current page, like this is what we are now going to be doing, or you can start a new one. For me, it was easier to start a new one because I'm still taking lash clients. So it's completely up to you. Starting a new one is a great way to go. Starting your current one and shifting it, you've already got some audience. So it really, to be honest, does not matter as long as you are very clear on who this new audience is and who you're talking to. Now, once you've identified who you're talking to, so for me, my audience is a very specific person. So it's not just any lash artist. It's not any new lash artist. I am looking for lash artists who have been lashing for a while, but they want better products. They want to improve their business and up level their lives. So those are the types of products and trainings I sell. I don't sell classic lashes as much. I don't promote them. I have them, but I don't promote them because that's not my audience. Does that make sense? Does that resonate? Okay. Now, once you decide who your audience is, your specific audience, I'm assuming it's lash artists, you're going to research their problems. This is the cheat code. This is the hack. These are some groups and websites that you can search in and type in eyelash extension questions. All problems and questions that people have about lashes will be in these kinds of things. All you need to do is hop into any lash group on Facebook and start scrolling. People are going to be like, does anyone have a faster drying glue? Does anyone have a sensitive glue? Do they have a low humidity glue, a high humidity glue? Does anyone have pre-mades that don't suck with a thick base? Does anyone have easy fan lashes? You're going to find all of their problems because they're asking questions in these Facebook groups. Same with Quora, however you say that website. That is a very helpful website. I have found Facebook groups to be full of knowledge because people want help and they're telling you where they need help in these groups. Another way to do this is looking at reviews of other product lines. So something that you can do is look up other reviews of other people's product lines and see what people are complaining about. Like, I love these pre-mades, but the base is thick and they're hard to apply and they don't remove easily. Okay, so if you know that you want to sell pre-mades, you know this is a common problem for people who sell pre-mades. So find a pre-made that doesn't have that problem, that solves that problem. And then you're going to use that in your marketing later. Is all of this kind of coming together? Etsy reviews are the same. So you can go onto Etsy and look up their reviews. There are a ton of lash lines on Etsy, surprisingly a large amount. Chat GPT, if you want to know what are the top questions that eyelash artists ask about products, ask Chat GPT and it will populate like 30 questions for you, okay? You can also ask your own audience and use your own experience. Okay, so this is going to tell you all of their problems of the audience that you are serving. Once you know their problems and you have an idea of how you want to solve them, I recommend starting with 1 to 3 products. If it's a lash line, which I'm assuming everyone here is, I wouldn't probably pull in a whole line. I would probably pull in 1 to 3 products that are going to solve your people's problems. Why is that? Because that is plenty to start with. You're going to have people asking for this stuff, asking how to use it, what is it good for? And 1 to 3 products is a lot to promote. One product is a lot to promote, especially when you're beginning. So get really, really good at promoting it. What are the problems with it? What are their pain points? How do you solve their problems with this product? How is this tweezer making your entire lash life better? And then here's the example of the pre-mades as well. Something I will say too is there are other companies, lash companies like BK Lashes, Butterfly Kiss Lashes. I think a lot of us know her. She's in Arizona here, and she doesn't just sell lash products. She sells merch. So there's sweatshirts in there, there's t-shirts. She has like clip-in things that clip into your Crocs. I mean, she's like so creative. Things I never would have thought of. And I just want you guys to keep in mind, like, you can really diversify. You could do one product that's like tweezers, and then you could do like stickers. It can be merch. It can be whatever you want. Keep that in mind and kind of just expand what you think. It looks like everyone else is actually kind of offering the same thing. So just kind of keep that in mind. Like, what could set me apart a little bit? Now we're going to go into research and development. And again, I'm moving pretty quickly, but if you guys have questions, please ask them. This is the perfect time. Utilize the chat box and let me know what kind of questions you have. Real quick, I'm going to make sure that no one else in the Facebook group is stuck. Nope, we're good. Okay. Good. Okay. So we have the benefits and how to start. So the first thing, research and development, is basically researching all the products available and developing your own. So the first thing you want to do is find the products that you want to use. You're going to order samples of them. You're going to test them. You're going to get feedback from other people on them. Don't skip that step. I'm going to tell you a horrible story. And then you're going to do cost analysis. And all the while you're doing this, you're going to be launching. You're going to be creating content. You're going to be filming things. You're going to be showing your audience, teasing them about what is to come. And that's how you can kind of launch before you sell. Launching, think of like a runway with a plane. Before it takes off into the air, it's got to gain momentum. And you can gain that momentum through content. And behind the scenes stuff, taking videos of you testing products and talking about, I loved this, but I didn't love this. That's getting your audience excited for what's to come. It is super, super important. And if you're not sure what to do yet, I just highly encourage you to film everything. Keep all the videos. You can make it into content at a later point as well. So the first thing you want to do, you've identified your audience and you've identified their problems. You need to find the products. The top 3 places that I have found for finding lash products are Alibaba, a good old Google search, and Instagram vendors. Instagram vendors are real. They are legit most of the time. And that is how I have found several of my own manufacturers. This is just a picture from a Google search that you can easily do. What I would do is just look through their stuff. They're going to have similar things. You want to zoom in on pictures. That's really important before you order samples. And there will be slight differences in different products and different vendors that you'll want to pay attention to. So these are the top places. Most of these places will allow you to order samples for free. You pay for shipping. So we're going to go into that here. Ordering samples. This is where it kind of gets real. So you start getting stuff in the mail and you're like, okay, it's happening. Each sample from my experience, has been between $40 and $50 in shipping. That's just shipping. So if that tells you, I would highly recommend ordering 5 to 10 of each sample from each place, because you're going to want to give it to your other people that you know for feedback. When you've chosen a product, right now I'm going to talk about tweezers. Maribel says feedback as in using them on your own clients or having other artists test. Both. Very good question. Both. So let's say it's tweezers, okay? So I'm going to go and I'm going to find 5 to 10 different places that have tweezers that I'm looking for, that I want to test out, that look interesting. And from each of those, from A, B, C, D, and E, I'm going to order 5 of that tweezer from each one, because one of those is for you to test, and the other ones you're going to send out to other people to test. These can be other lash artists. It can be future brand ambassadors. You can tell people like, I'm starting a product line and I would love your feedback. There's a caveat to that. If you don't have your line yet and you're not officially doing a brand ambassadorship, some people may want to steal your R&D, your research and development. It's not uncommon. People want to know who your vendors are. Personally, I would keep that stuff private, because you're spending a lot of money doing all of this research and development to find out what you like and get all of this feedback on it. So I would order 5 to 10 of each product from each vendor. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay. For this part, I would plan on a reserve of at least $250. So let's say you order from 5 places, it's about $50 each. That's $250. That's just in samples, okay? So that's what I would recommend having for this. Remember too, everything is a tax write-off. So you want to be using an expense account or keeping receipts of all of this stuff to give to your accountant at the end, because this is all marketing and development expenses in your business. It's all a tax write-off. Now you're going to test it. It is so important that you keep this organized. My laundry room looked like a bomb hit. I was like, wait, which company did this come from? Which company did this come from? I really would recommend keeping like a box of each company and what came in it and detailed notes. And when you're sending it out to other people to try, I would have notes like taped onto the tweezer or taped onto the lash tray, because it is going to get confusing, or keep it a mental note of like, the pink tray was this company. It's going to get confusing where it's all coming from. You want to make detailed notes. And I mean very detailed, because there's so many products you'll be trying. So let's say it's tweezers. You're going to be like, this one, I liked how it picked up, but the tension was kind of hard. I didn't like the design. It's ugly. You know what I mean? So you want to like make very detailed notes of each thing and then write the manufacturer that it came from. Don't tell your brand ambassadors or people who are giving you feedback, but keep that for yourself, that information for yourself. You also want to keep a note of the cost. I can order something from my main manufacturer. They will send me a gigantic box of products, and then a different manufacturer will send me a tiny box, and their shipping is more, and they're coming from the same area overseas. And I've confronted them about this, and they don't think it's a problem. So I'm not ordering from that little one, because when you do a cost breakdown, people can buy that stuff on Amazon for the same amount. I'd have to sell it, overprice it to make it worth it. And so I want you guys to keep that in mind. Just because it's a really cool product or whatever, you want to keep notes of what they're charging you in shipping and how much the actual product will cost you, because all of that is going to factor in. There is no point in doing this if it's not profitable. Breaking even is fine, I guess, but are we here to break even and do a bunch of work? We're here to make money. So no, I don't want you guys working for free. I don't believe in that. I do not believe in that. And if you've done all the work to deliver your customer base an amazing product, you should be getting paid for that legwork that you did. Okay. So this is your contribution to the Lash world as well by providing them a better product than they've had before. And it takes time and it takes energy and it takes work. So keep a note as well in that little box of all those products of what everything costs and their shipping. I would put on there what you like, what you love, what you dislike, and then specific features about that product. That way at the end, you can look through your notes and be like, okay, it's easy to get rid of these three. Now it's between these two. Make sense? Okay. I want to tell you guys about feedback because it is extremely important to get. When I started my line in 2018, I loved my products, but this is right when the pinch method was coming out with mega volume, when people were doing the flower bouquet technique, and now we've got these super easy fanning lashes. I always fanned on the strip when I started. So I thought everybody else did too. I was a pretty new lash artist too. It was like 3 years in. I didn't get feedback. I ordered around $2,000 for my initial order. And in 2018, that was a large amount of money for me. I was not making that kind of money at all. And I mean, I like carefully brought the box in and set it in my room. I was like, kids, don't touch it. Like, don't touch the lash trays. Like, I was so protective. And as I started sending out products to people and they were buying, they were like, the packaging is cute. And I'm like, what is going on? That's like all they would say. And I'm like, well, what do you think of the lashes? And they're like, well, you know, they don't fan that good. I'm like, what? I'm shocked. So I continued to use them until I took a mega volume class and my life changed. And now that method is primarily what I use. And that's what most people I think are now using. And so I couldn't sell these lashes anymore. They had a thick base. I was doing 3D volume. I literally threw $2,000 worth of lash trays into my dumpster and I cried all the way through it. And I don't want that for you guys. I did not get feedback. I also want to say, I understand how hard that is for some people. I was a solo lash artist. I didn't work in salon suites. I rented like a small office space. I didn't know other lash artists to send it to. I want you to find some. If you don't know some. If you want me to test out your products, send them to me. Take the label off. Don't tell me who they're from. I will absolutely give you feedback on what I think. Find people that will give you feedback. Do not skip this step unless you want to throw away thousands of dollars in product, okay? It's better to waste some money on a sample, people trying it out and not liking it, than spending thousands. So please keep that in mind moving forward. Everyone good on that? We're not skipping this step. Okay. Then we're going to do a cost analysis. So we talked lightly about this. Sometimes they won't give you their pricing until you place an initial order. They'll negotiate with you and they'll talk to you. So I would be like, no, I need your pricing if I'm going to order. What would it be? And then they'll give it to you. Okay. They're pretty negotiable people overseas when it comes to this stuff. Maribel, how do you remove the label to keep the vendor private? It depends on the product. If it's like in the lash tray, you could just peel the sticker off. You could take a Sharpie to it. However you need to do it. Probably it's a sticker. I don't think a lot of them are like engraving tweezers and stuff like that. That's something that you would do for your own brand later. But just removing the label, I most likely just pull it off. Or find a way to send it in a way. Like if it's a tweezer and it's got the label on it, Sharpie it or put tape on it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't share my manufacturers because I know how much thousands and thousands of dollars. I mean, literally thousands of dollars you're going to be spending in time into doing this for yourself. So when you do a cost analysis on each company, you're going to want to get the cost of shipping and handling. Things to think about here are how much you're going to be paying for shipping, sending it out. Typically, it's around $4 to ship a product to somebody, and the client typically pays for that. But when you're doing marketing, if you're sending out any free products, typically you're the one paying for that, okay? So I want you to think about that stuff. Also, packaging. For you guys, a guesstimate, what I would say is it's about $1 to $2 to package each product. So I have bags and boxes that I put stuff in with tissue paper. After my marketing material, like the thank you card, all in all, I would say $1.50 to $2 per product. You want to build that in to your cost analysis because you're paying for that stuff. Remember, if you're not making a profit, there's no point here. So you want to build that into your pricing, okay? Excel sheets. Excel sheets will help you with this, okay? So, and remember, you guys can take pictures of this presentation if you want. Keep it for later. Take pictures of whatever you need. You can screenshot it, okay? So you're going to want to keep note of the product cost wholesale that you're buying it for, shipping cost that they're charging you, packaging. Something to think about is depreciation. So like with adhesive, how long can you keep it before it goes bad? The benefit of something like lashes and tweezers and lash tiles, most of what we have isn't going to go bad. I have found anything with sticky stuff like tape that does have a bit of a shelf life. You know, if you have tape that's too old, it's not going to work as well or correctly. It might be tacky and weird. So just keep those kind of things in mind. Lashes and tweezers are great. Same with merchandise, t-shirts and stuff like that, because they're not depreciating. They're not like going bad. Okay. Also, additional fees from the manufacturer. So you're going to add up all of these things, and this is the total cost for you. Now, whatever you sell this for minus your total cost is your profit, minus 30% from the government, because they're going to tax you too. And if you guys are in Arizona and you need a good accountant, I have a great one I can send to you. Her name is also Erica. I'll actually put that in the group later. Keep all of that in mind. And then we talked about launching and marketing before you sell. I want you to video every step of this process. I have this little $7 thing from Amazon that my phone sits on. You can just set it down and film yourself testing. You can film yourself doing all kinds of stuff. You can use it for stories, and you can ask your audience, what are you guys looking for in a tweezer? What is your biggest problem when it comes to lashing? And people will be like, it's hard for me to make fans. And you're like, why? You want to find out what they're struggling with and help solve their problems in your content. That is how you're going to start launching before you actually sell it. You want to use every piece of this to entice and tease your audience. There is someone named Paisley's Lash Room, and she's in Paisley's Beauty Room, Paisley, Paisley's Beauty Room. She's in the UK. And if you can find her on Facebook, she is very good at this. So she just started a line recently, and she posts things like, here we go. So she's like, hey, I'm going live on TikTok doing my sister's lashes while she sleeps at Paisley's Beauty Room if you want to come and watch. And then she'll post, fiber tips are here, and then she's posting her new stuff. She also posts, is my website working good for you guys, or should I switch how I put on my single length trays and mix length trays? And people will comment. This is genius. She is literally taking you behind the scenes all the time, and people love it. I mean, I have my own line and I'm like, what is going on here? I'm like interested, right? I'm like, how's she doing this? So she's very, very good. She even writes customer service details, no DMs. Please email me at such and such. That if people didn't know who she was and they just saw that, they're like, oh, she has a lash brand. Like, what is this about? What is this about? I'm doing some website updating over the next few days, including a new brand ambassador program. I'm going to attempt to do this with very little disruption. I already have a new theme. Let me know what you think. And then she posts a screenshot and people are commenting. This is an excellent example. She is one person who takes clients all day, just like me, and she's showing you step by step behind the scenes of how she sets up her business, and people want to come along for the ride. Okay. There are so many ways you can do this. Share your process. I was humiliated when I had to throw away thousands of dollars worth of trays. I thought about filming it, but I was crying and I was like, I'm not going to cry on camera. And so I didn't. But looking back, I wish that I had shared more of that because it really does show people like the struggles of a business owner. The things that you share with people help them connect to you a lot more. If you're in a moment and you're like, oh, I wouldn't do it in the moment. I would do it afterwards when the problem is solved. Like, hey, here's that time I was crying because I didn't get any feedback from you guys. I've come a long way. That would be a great post to share, right? It shows people that I've worked really hard for this and they want to be a part of it too. Follow people who are doing things that draw you in. If you notice you're following someone a lot, ask yourself why. Like, what are they doing? And then see if you can do it too. So there are some different growth paths here. And Maribel, yes, I will put the tax accountant in the group. I wrote that down. She's fantastic. I'll just also say, my first year of business, I made I didn't have a lot of money. I made money, but I didn't have a ton of money. And I owed like $4,000. It was all my savings at that time. And this accountant has gotten me money back every year because she teaches, like she tells me how to organize things. She's fantastic. So I am not an accountant. She's great. She'll give you a full profit and loss statement, everything that you need. So these are some different growth paths. Okay. So there are so many ways to grow your business. You can combine some of these, you can do them separately, but I'm going to give you some examples too of what other people are doing. How are you guys doing so far? Is this helpful? Do you feel like you're learning something? Let me know in the chat or a thumbs up. Let me know. I want to make sure this is all landing with you guys and helpful. Cool. Thank you, Maribel. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so here are some different growth paths. One growth path is training. If you are training other people or you want to become a trainer, have your students use your products. They will tell other students. And honestly, one of the best ways to get new customers is when you're training someone, if this is the first product that they use, they're typically like, this is it for life. Like, I'm a lifer. This is what I've always used. They're going to use it for a long time. And if they like it, they're going to tell other people. You can also create a community. You can use a Facebook group or Instagram to cultivate a community who loves your products. A very good example of this are any of you in this group on Facebook, Lash Queens. There are 100,000 lash artists in this group, and this group is owned by PLA, Paris Lash Academy. I had never even heard of PLA, ever. I joined a Facebook lash group, and people are like, what's your favorite lash glue to use? And everyone was saying PLA. And I thought that is so interesting. They own this group. They support lash artist discussions and all that stuff. But they have created an incredible community in this Facebook group. Okay, there you go. You use their loose pre-mades. Perfect. So this group is like, they nurture their group. They give discounts. It's a family run thing and they do an outstanding job managing this group. It's people post in here 24/7. They have created an incredible community. Okay. You can do this by starting a Facebook group. You can do this by chatting with people on your Instagram. People love my Instagram stories because I just share my day-to-day stuff. I get a lot of comments and reactions and stuff. I'm just creating a community of people who are hardworking moms like me. That's all I want. I just want to show them it can be done. I did it and you can do it too. Their marketing team is A1. Yes, they are on top of everything. Yes. So I will say 2 heads is better than 1. When you have a family working for your business, I mean, they've got it nailed tight. They do an amazing job. So that's one way. So they've created a good community. Their marketing is excellent and they market through their group too. When they have a sale, it's in the group to 100,000 people for free. Consider that. They have 100,000 people that they can market to for free in that Facebook group. And when they create brand ambassadors and they're all chatting about their stuff in the group, it's like wildfire. Online education is another path. YouTube videos where you're teaching lashes, using your products. You could do full sets or a fill and record it, content around it. And at the end, share with people, or during it, this is the tweezers I'm using. I'm using these lashes. This is what I like about them. Look how good the set looks. If you have a salon of lash artists or salon suites, you can have them use your products. If it's salon suites, they'd have to opt in optionally to use them, but you could offer them at a discount and they're going to tell other lash artists if they like it. You can leverage a personal brand. So you can leverage your personal brand to promote your products. And in this way, people will buy because they know, like, and trust you. Or you can do a corporate brand or wholesale. So this is like if you get in with a beauty supply store. Typically, people who have done this have had a lot of experience in the other areas because they've gotten a lot of feedback on their products, because you're going to be selling to more people. But you can start with a small beauty supply store if you want to start there. You can start with small salons as well. A lot of salons today with hairstylists will have an esthetician and a lash artist as well. So approach the salon owner and you can ask them, are you committed to a brand? Would you like to try my lashes? Okay. And you can mix this stuff, right? So here's some more examples. So PLA, I think they have done a fantastic job at creating community. Lash Makers, all the way to the right here, she has a salon, it's salon suites, but they're employees. So she has a salon, they all use her products, and she does training. So she promotes hugely through that. A lot of you know Lash Anarchist, Allie Lilly, also here in Phoenix. Well, now she's in Florida, but she has leveraged her personal brand to create connections and sell products and trainings. So again, she's using her own products, and you just get to know her on Instagram. It's like you know her just by watching her stuff. It's like you just kind of feel like you already know her. So she's leveraged her personal brand to sell her products. For my line, I would say it's primarily a personal brand and training. So I do in-person trainings and I do online courses and I do some online education, but not really. I would say I do training and personal brand, and that's how I typically leverage my products. And you can really decide how you want to do that. I think the Facebook community is a great way to go, like PLA. All right. So this is where you can choose your growth path, you guys. You can decide, like, do I want to start as a personal brand? Do I want to do trainings? Do I want to hire someone? Because if you hire someone and then you train them with your products, they may want those as well, right? The avenues to grow: social media, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, trainings. When you sell trainings, your students typically become lifelong customers. Your personal brand creates connection in a community. In a salon, all of your employees are using your products. And if word gets out, if they leave, they'll still use them if they love them. And then in a salon, a lot of times your people are going to have their own social media pages where they will also promote your stuff. Having said that, all of this requires social media to grow. Content is a non-negotiable. I fought this for a very long time. I really didn't like it. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I don't care anymore. Now I use social media. I don't let it use me. So what I recommend is if it's something that you struggle with, I would recommend hiring help on it, having someone do it for you, or learning how to do it yourself. Whatever you want, it is worth investing in if you have any business that you want to grow. Social media is not going anywhere. I mean, look at this. 100,000 members. That means they don't have to run ads to these people. Those are just free people to market to. Marketing typically costs a lot of money. When you can create, I mean, so Lash Anarchist, she has 42,000 followers. That's 42,000 people that can hear her message by posting her stuff. Lash Makers, I think she's at like 200,000 or something. So keep in mind, it's not to be underestimated. People use it for a reason. I have a very small following and I make a very good living. So it's how you leverage it, but a bigger audience definitely helps. Okay. All right. Let's get into the rapid start process. I feel like this is going to help a lot of you guys. I've kind of broken this down in a way to make it very easy for you to figure out step by step how to start your line. So take pictures of this if you want to, save it, screenshot it. This in the next slide will be very helpful to you. The first thing that you want to do is set a goal date to begin and a goal date to have your first product launched. I would recommend giving yourself, I did all the math on this, so I want to make sure I'm giving this to you extra clear. Here we go. So your goal date also depends on how much money you have saved, okay? Because you are going to want to have some money saved to begin this. If you're ready to start sampling, I would recommend having, like I said, $250 to $500 saved. So if you have that, you can set your goal date now if you want it to be. Once you have your stuff, you're going to want to have about $2,000 to $3,000 for your products ready to launch. That is my experience from having a full lash line, okay? Because I had to order a lot of sizes, thicknesses, lengths. I want to give you context here. When I started my skincare product, I only ordered like 10. But because it was a more expensive product, it cost me about, I think, $480 to sample it. It was about $200 still. And then it was like $480, so $500 to get 10 of those products. So I sold out of those right away, but I just want to give you context. The 2,000 would be if you're doing a full lash line. If you're doing, merch, it may be different. To be safe, if it's a lash line, I would say have like $2,000 saved. If you don't use it all, put it in your savings. You'll be fine. Okay. So you want to set a goal date to begin to have your first product launch. And that depends on when you got your money, set your date. Okay. At this time, realistically, it's going to take you about 4 to 6 weeks to get the samples ordered. So you've decided what you want and you order them. The turnaround overseas is between, I would say, 2 to 6 weeks. So let's say 4. Once you get those products, you're going to want to test them. So I'm going to say 4 weeks to be very safe. If it's lashes and tweezers, you may want 1 to 6 weeks because that's like a 3-week fill and then another 3-week fill that give you like a full time to see how everything held up and all that good stuff. Let's say it's tweezers and you're just trying them out and testing them. So let's call it 1 week. Once you place your actual order that has your private label and your branding, it's going to take 4 to 8 weeks to get back to you, probably about 4. So all in all, you're looking at 9 to 12 weeks. Okay. That's a realistic timeline from ordering samples to getting a finalized product back, 2 to 3 months to have ready to sell to the public. I just want you guys to be realistic at what you're looking at. The good thing about this is while you're waiting for the things to come in the mail, you can be doing other things, okay? So this is when you can, I'm just going to come down here. You're going to set your goal date, choose your audience, research their problems, choose 1 to 3 products that solve the problems, order your samples. Sampling takes time. This part takes time. In that time that you're waiting to get your stuff, start the trademarking process. Are you guys familiar with the trademarking process? A little bit? Not at all? Let me know. A little. Perfect. You're going to go to, not enough. Okay. You're going to go to US, hold on. I don't want to get the letters wrong. It's like it's USPTSO, I think. USPTSO. Yeah. USP as in Paul, T as in Tom, O.gov. USPTO, sorry, USPTO.gov. Just search federal trademarking. What you're going to want to do is search your trademark name. Please do not brand a product without doing this. If someone else has this name, you can get a cease and desist and can't sell it anymore. And again, all that money is gone. So you've ordered your samples, start looking up your trademark names, decide on a name that you want. The reason it needs to be, it does take about a year. But the good thing is once you put in the request, no one else can take that trademark. So like once you start the process, no one else can like come swoop it out from under you. So you'll look on the website and it'll tell you if like, let's say I wanted Kindle for my name. It's going to say live next to it because obviously that trademark is live. Let's say someone else started the word Kindle and then they were like, they didn't follow through with it. Like they started the process and they're like, this is a lot, or I don't want to sell this anymore. Life happened. It'll say dead, which means they no longer are moving through with it. What I understand is that can still be a problem. They can come back within a certain amount of time to try and get that back. So dead doesn't mean you can just take it. So I would search for your trademark name and try to get something that doesn't come up at all. Okay. If it says live, definitely no. If it says dead, you may want to have an attorney look at it, and I'll give you the attorney I recommend here for this. This does take time. This whole process will take time. I promise you it's worth it. The trademark process can be several $100s, just depends on who you go to. It's not something that you want to mess with. You do want to hire someone out for this process. And the reason it needs to be a federal trademark is because if you're shipping outside of your state, it has to be federally approved. Having said that, the other thing you're going to need is your retail license to sell in your state. So you want to have your retail license to sell in your state and city. Every city is different. So I'm in Phoenix. I had to have a different license when I was in Scottsdale. So just research your local retail sales licensing and get that as well. All of that can be done because you're just waiting for samples. You're just waiting for samples in the mail. So you've got 2 to 3 weeks to just get this other stuff started. You can totally do this. Okay. In the meantime, we're still making content. We're taking videos. We're like, my federal trademark got approved, and we're blurring it out because we don't want everybody to know quite yet until the big reveal, right? So you want to keep getting people excited. Like, what's coming? What am I working on? Keep that in mind for content. Then you are going to get your samples back. You're going to start conducting your testing, okay, and getting your feedback. And that's going to take some time. Another thing you could do is just ask a few lash artist friends if they want to meet for lunch and try out some of your products. You can totally do that. Totally do that. You can also look up other popular lashes, tweezers, trays, and see how yours compare that way. Do your best not to skip this process. I am volunteering for you guys. I will help you with feedback if you need it. I did not have that when I began, which is why I didn't do it. I'm happy to help you. Okay. Once you've decided on your manufacturer, they're chosen, they are the chosen one or two or three. A lot of times you're going to have several ones depending on your products. You want to finalize your product presentation. So you're also going to want to have a little bit of branding here. Remember my beginning branding. It's okay to not like it at first. I did the best I could with what I had, and that's all I want you to do. The main thing for branding is I want you to just choose 3 fonts and 3 colors and stick with those. Canva is your best friend. 3 fonts and 3 colors, and utilize Canva. Canva also, if you search mood boards, a bunch of templates will come up and you can make your own mood board. It will save your brand colors. It will save your fonts, and you can have a whole branding thing done in 20 minutes if that's what you want. Something to research would be like colors and the feelings that and meanings colors have for people in marketing. That is something that I would also do. And then you can create your own mood board on Pinterest to kind of see what pulls you in, what draws you in, and then recreate that in your own way using Canva's mood board. Okay. So you've got your product presentation. It's going to have your business name and logo on it. As long as you've started the trademark, I believe you're good to sell. And you're going to place your initial order. Once you place that initial order, that can take between 4 to 6 weeks, probably not 8. I hope not 8, but could take some time because they've got to print out your branding to put on the products. Okay. This is when it's exciting. Then your products come in the mail and you can really start selling. Okay. Then you let people know what's going on, all that good stuff, what you've got to sell and how you're solving their problems. How do you guys feel so far? I've given you a lot of information. Remember, it's supposed to feel like a lot, and that's okay. Guys feeling okay? Okay, good. I'm glad, Janet. Yeah, I love the step guideline. Yeah. So licensing, we talked about, make sure you're legally selling retail in your state. Trademarking, you want a federal trademark since you'll be selling it nationwide and it's not a state-based service business. Insurance is a big question that people have. Insurance is recommended, not required. Okay, recommended, not required. And it's the way that they charge it is based on how much you're making. So for like mine, it making around 30,000 a year, it'd be like $300 per year, and that covers 1 million in claims, and $200 and 2 million in aggregate. I don't know what that second part means, but you would just ask your insurance agent, but it's very affordable with what we're selling. We're not selling tobacco, alcohol, firearms. So it's eyelash stuff, right? So typically not too much, which is great. Another thing I want to cover here is platforms. Platforms for you guys to host your products on. So this you'll want to write down. It is not in the slide deck. Your options are typically Shopify, Squarespace. You can also sell on Etsy. There are a lot of successful brands that we don't even know about on social media, and they are on Etsy. And then your social media channels. So Facebook and Instagram both have their own direct purchase shop channels on those social media sites. Shopify just started doing a new thing. This is August of 2023, and it's just came out. So if someone's watching this in the future, this may have changed, but they are now offering a $5 a month plan. For the first 3 months, it's $1, and it doesn't host a Shopify website, but what it does is it creates your links to put on your social media. So a page on social media. So people will like click your link in bio, and then it will have your store instead of having a full website. That's a great place to start. Eventually, you do want to have a website. If you don't start with one, it's okay. Eventually you do, because as we know, Instagram and Facebook are famous for shutting people down. I have a friend who makes $400,000 a year, and she's shut out of Facebook, and that's how she makes her money. So a website is a good thing to have because you own it. It's not going to get shut down typically. Any kind of social media, Instagram pages get deleted, they get hacked. So it's okay to start this way. I would not say it's a sustainable way. I would say I would use a full Shopify website eventually if you want to do that. It's also not very expensive. Shopify's, I think, like $40 a month or $30 a month. So you can build your whole website on there and start selling as well. It also, you can put those links on other sites and all that good stuff. Another point I want to make for you guys is whatever you choose to do, if it's worth doing, it's worth doing well. Okay. And what I mean by that is don't just dump stuff on every platform just to be on it, and it's going to look scrappy everywhere. If you want to start with Etsy, go balls deep into Etsy. If that's where you want to start, look up how to rank your stuff on Etsy. Join all the Facebook groups on how to sell on Etsy. Get really good at the keywords and the selling and the presentation of your stuff on Etsy. Do you know what I'm saying here? I don't want you to just dump stuff everywhere. If it's Instagram that you want to go hard on Instagram. Create your community, create your following. If it's a Facebook community, if you want to start and do what PLA does, start your Facebook group, start inviting people to it. Have that be the main way that you build relationships and communicate with people. Search how to grow my business using Facebook groups. You'll find thousands of courses, products, and mentors to do that stuff. I want you to choose one selling platform to go hard on, one, and get really, really good at it, because one is enough. Let me tell you, it's a lot. One is plenty. Everyone is still trying to figure out Instagram. Don't make yourself crazy and try to be everywhere. If it's TikTok, go hard on TikTok. Okay. Although I think it's Chinese spyware. That's a topic for another day. Okay. So we're going to keep going here. So we covered why you're starting your line and what to expect, benefits of having your own line, choosing your audience and your product, research and development, different growth paths that you can take, the rapid start process that I recommend for you guys to have your product launched in 3 months, licensing, insurance, and trademarking, and a little bit of branding, content, and preparation. I also promised to talk to you guys about scaling. This is what I want to end on. You can keep this small if you want to, or you can grow it as big as you want. It is completely up to you. My kids are still in school, high school, but they're in school. I don't want to be tied to a warehouse. I discovered that very quickly when I would take trips with my family and people were placing orders. And I had to message people and tell them it was going to be a few days. People didn't mind, but I did. That's not how I like to run business. I've decided to keep it a little bit low stress for myself and smaller for now. I will continue to grow this, and I do continue to grow it, but it's up to you. You can keep it small and have your products in your suite like I do, or you can create a huge community. You can have a massive warehouse. One other company that does a really great job with all of their marketing is LiveBay. Everybody knows LiveBay. Again, that's a 2-person team, right? So they help each other grow, and they've got trainings and salons and their product line. So they're utilizing a ton of different avenues to grow their brand. So you can take this as big as you want to. If you want to hire people and train them with your products, do it. You can really make this as big as you want to. If you do want it to grow bigger, it means you're going to want to get more eyes on your brand. Some ways to do that would be extended marketing in the form of collaboration, events, education with other leaders and other brands. It could also mean doing trade shows. It could mean teaching. And honestly, I don't know any manufacturer that isn't involved somehow in education. So even if you don't want to do in-person trainings or whatever, I really do think that offering some type of education, even if it's just how to use your tweezers or your adhesive in short video clips in your content, it's imperative to what we do. It just is tied in with the brand. I don't know. I can't think of a single manufacturer or supplier who is not somehow involved in education. I just want to let you guys know, once you start doing this and you start making money and you've had a slow week and then a $400 order comes in and a $300 order comes in, and then you're making $1,800 a month from products, just shipping them, you're going to get the bug to keep growing. But I want you to keep that bug to grow even when you don't see sales. Who you are when people are not buying is your life. So I want you to keep remembering, who are you being when you're not seeing sales? Are you still marketing? Are you still looking out for your people? Are you still trying to help them win at what they do? I want you to keep that in mind. Slowly, the sales will trickle in. The more you market, the more you will make. And I want you guys to take that with you no matter what. How do you guys feel? Good? Okay. I am going to be teaching another class, the next class on this. It's going to be, I wrote it here for you. More in-depth branding, content, selling and marketing, pricing strategies, and COG. COG is the cost of goods. This is how you can bundle products to promote more. How to create loyal clients, what method is best for you, whether it's organic marketing, SEO on your website, trade shows, and how to stand out in a saturated market. So I'm going to share all of my branding resources, the people I use, the courses that I've helped me to sell more, that kind of thing, in the next class. If you're in this class, your payment for this class can be applied to the next class. So it's $188 for the next one. It'd only be $111 for you guys. Totally optional. I'm going to put the link in the Facebook group after this for you guys to have that. So that's what we will go over there. That'll be in the group for you. But I want you guys to set your goals today and have an idea of when you want to get started. And remember, in the Facebook group, if you want to ask any question for the next 2 to 3 days, you can ask in that group and I'll be in there responding. Okay. Do you guys have any questions for me as we close up? I hope this was helpful for you guys. I know that this has been honestly a life changer for me, having extra income like this. That's really minimal effort once you get the ball rolling. So I want that for you too. Okay. Any questions, you can drop them in the group. You can drop them here. Let me know. Good question. What is a good amount of brand ambassadors? Honestly, I would say however many you can get. Or however many you can hold and like you want to get. A brand ambassador is going to be like you want a certain type of person as your brand ambassador. Think of it as like lash clients that come in. You have like clients sometimes who they'll come to you forever, but they still like complain about stuff, right? You probably don't want that person marketing your services. But then you have the client who's like, you like love her and adore her, and she loves her lashes every time, and she tells everybody about you. I want you to think of it like that. Like you want to look at their page and be like, do they have an engaged audience? Like, are they just a brand ambassador because they want a discount, or are they actually like, do they actually like my products? Do they actually want to promote them? I had a brand ambassador who I did remove quickly because she was more like, I'll put it this way. I have several brand ambassadors who post my stuff regularly and they love my products, and I can feel it in their content, and their content's beautiful, and they're both active on social media. I had the other brand ambassador who would post, it was kind of obvious it was out of obligation to get the discount. That's not a good reflection on my business. I want someone who actually likes my stuff and who likes to promote things, right? I don't want to force somebody to sell. How did I drop the bad one? I just had a conversation and said, I don't really think this is the best fit. It doesn't really seem like you are into my products all that much, which is fine. That's totally fine. And they were like, yeah, I kind of want to try my own brand anyway. I'm like, great. Like I could feel that, I could feel that I think they were doing it more for their own market research or something, which, people are going to do that a lot. That's fine. It's fine. But you just have an honest communication. Like, I don't really think this is working well. I don't think this is a good fit. Think of it as just like you would with a client or an employee. If someone is not really feeling it, it's just not a good fit. So that's what I would say for that. Do you hire someone for your content with videos and pictures of your products, or do you just do it yourself? Oh, both. So for videos, I typically take my own pictures of my products. I outsource. Actually, I do both. So I have my own product set up for photos and I take them myself. And I also source a company to do that too. So I would look up product photographers, like product photo companies, and a lot of people are doing that now. Well, you'll send them your products and they will take really cool pictures of all of them. And it's going to be a lot better than you could do yourself because it's what they do for a living. You do have to pay for those photos, of course. So, but in the beginning, I did it all myself. So I ordered like a light box off of Amazon, like a product photo light box, and I got a better camera and I played with different pictures. So in the beginning, I did it all myself. Photos of yourself and branding, you can do both. You can do your own photo shoot or you can hire someone. Raw Aesthetics. I don't know if you guys know who she is. It's Ella at Raw Aesthetics. She has a branding agency now. She was also a lash artist and she does websites, photo shoots, full branding. She did my brand and my brand photo shoot. But I sold for a year before I got that stuff done. So it helps though. It helps a lot because you want to be seen as a professional in the industry. So no matter what you're doing, you want to make sure it looks branded. Where do you choose all of your packaging stuff? Labels, boxes, stickers, or thank you? Okay. Canva for like thank you cards is going to be Canva. Stickers. I think I ordered off of Sticker Mule, but you can look up sticker companies and make sure you've got a logo that you love and order your stickers. Labels are already on there so your manufacturer is going to ask for your logo and you're going to send it to them and they're going to send you a mock-up of what your lash trays or tweezers are going to look like. And they will also have a bunch of different boxes for your lashes that you can choose. And, you know, some people are coming out with like the paper boxes or cardboard boxes have been out for a while too. Not every company does those. So if that's important to you, you want to make sure you're finding a lash company that advertises that because they do not all do that. For like packaging, I have done Uline, Uline, and they are no cheaper. It's supposed to be like a big company that does packaging stuff. They're no cheaper than Amazon. So again, I price everything out because it's all coming out of my pocket. And most people aren't going to sell out 100%. Like I'll sell out of 100% of certain lash trays, but not of all of every lash tray, right? So you're still going to have money that you're not selling out of. So you want to price smart. Make sure it's a quality product that you're packaging in. When it comes to your branding too, I would look at like, what is my package going to look like? Like, am I packaging with crinkle paper, tissue paper? Am I putting goodies in the bag? When you receive a package, what do you like about it? And what don't you like? I don't like getting, like, I've ordered clothes online and they just like shove it in a bag. I'm like, this isn't even, there's nothing else to it. Like, it was like, it's like you could feel that there's just no extra thought or care put in. And I don't like that. Maybe other people like it. It doesn't bother them. But for me, my packaging is very like special. Like it's got a certain type of tissue paper. I have very pretty thank you cards. I put a goodie in there too. If it's a regular customer, I will send a free gift and I have free gift stickers I'll stick on there. So you just want to really think about all of that. Presentation is so important. Even if you got the best lashes or the best tweezers ever, if they were in like a cheap bag and it looked dirty or something, like you're never going to order from them again. That's important. It's your dollars are paying for that. So you want to make sure you're giving them a quality experience. It's not just the product, it's an experience. So think about that too. I did permanent makeup for a while and I ordered numbing stuff from Bowler Cosmetics, Bowler, permanent makeup. And their box I loved. They had crinkle paper. They sent like a candy cane in it, like a candy cane stick, a piece of gum, different samples of like a free microblading blade, a little thank you card. I mean, it was thoughtful. I was like, this is good packaging. So I want you guys to think about that when you're getting stuff. Is it good packaging? Like, what am I presenting to my customer? What experience are they getting? Think about that. Does that help, Maribel? Awesome. How do you feel? Janeth, are you feeling good? Yeah. How do you know you're buying from a manufacturer and not a third party, someone buying directly from the manufacturer? Do you mean like, because some people have started to private label? So I think what you might mean, or if you can clarify a little bit more, I know one brand right now, I will not say who they are. I don't think it's a bad thing, but they've started to do their own private labeling. So I think that they're even buying in bulk. Now they're going to be like a middleman. So, I think it would be pretty easy to find out. I would probably research a lot of these manufacturers and look at the prices. And if there's a big price discrepancy, like if one is quite a bit more, I would dare to say that they're probably an extra middleman in there somewhere, because they're getting something from that. But across the board, when you order samples, the pricing should pretty much stack up. They should be pretty similar. Yeah. I know Live Bay is coming out with their own, well, I think they've been coming out with their own manufacturer in the US for years. Yeah, it would be great to purchase someone US made. I haven't found anybody yet, and I've always searched for that. I always wanted that to be part of it, and it just doesn't exist here yet, but it might. Keep in mind that will be more expensive. So you'll either have to sell your products for more, or you have to understand you're going to make quite a bit less. Yeah. And then when you're pricing, you just want to make sure, I would look around at what other people are pricing. And once you start realizing like what these things cost, you're going to be like, that person oversell, like that person overcharges. Most people don't overcharge, I would say. For all that goes into it, I don't think most people overcharge. I think it's a very fair rate, but there are some smaller brands that I'm like, it's quite a bit higher. So you'll start noticing that once you get pricing and stuff going. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, you guys? Thank you again for joining me today. Sorry about the technical delay. That has never happened before. I'm gonna have to find out what was going on. Zoom would not let me share to Facebook. It said I wasn't an authorized user anymore. So that was weird. But this entire video will be uploaded to the Facebook group. So you will have it there. And then remember, if continual questions come up, you can ask them in the group for the next few days. I'll be answering. And again, if you want any continued mentorship towards your goals, feel free to message me. I do Slack mentorship, which is basically an app on our phone, and we can do voice notes and text. It saves everything, so you can refer back. That's what I use with my mentor. And then if you need help setting your goals in the next couple of days, put it in the group and I'd be happy to help. Maribel, I bought from Alibaba already and I love my stuff, but I'm so nervous. It's just my first time purchase and I love it because I was so excited for it. Yeah. I just wouldn't purchase off of emotion. So if it's making you nervous and you love it so much, I love that you already took that first step, Maribel. I would order more samples. I've tried out a lot of samples and loved the product. And then I try other ones of the same product and I'm like, it's a little better. Or it's got something that that one didn't have. Or I don't actually like that it has that anymore. So it's exciting to get all this stuff in, but do not skip any of the steps I gave you in that rapid start process. I really want you guys to order several samples and get feedback. I did 2 of each length, so maybe more next time. Well, my question would be, are you the only one that tried them? Did anyone else try them? Yeah. There's your answer. I would definitely, she said, yes, I don't have anyone else to test them yet. You've got 2 people on this call who I bet would help you, right? We're all here for each other. So we can send stuff to each other. There's plenty to go around. I bought samples as well, but no luck. So I stopped buying samples because it was discouraging. Yeah. So how many samples did you buy? 3? Was it lashes? Yeah. And tweezers? Okay. So, yeah, I would keep going. It's a commitment. So I would try 3 more companies. Tweezers are interesting because a lot of those come from, they come from Asia and the Middle East. And I had a really hard time sourcing from the Middle East. Asia was a lot easier for me. They seem to have things a bit more structured payment wise and delivery wise and all of that. So, honestly, the Instagram vendors have been better for me than Alibaba. It's been easier for me. The tweezers felt cheap and the lashes weren't coming off the strip. Yeah. I would try a few more. I would try Instagram vendors. If you're doing Alibaba, try Instagram. If you're doing Instagram, and then I would try a Google search because you can message these companies on Google and they'll get back to you with an order. A lot of times you can place the order online on their website too, but I would try it out. It's gonna be, honestly, everybody wants to do this right away. But if it was easy, everybody would keep doing it. So that saying is so true. Like if it was easy, everyone would do it. So if this is something you want and you want to stick with it, one at a time, one at a time, and you don't have to order 10 samples today. You can order a sample this month. You can order a sample 2 weeks later. It doesn't all have to be at once. PLA is the one who said to make sure it's from a manufacturer and not someone trying to be the middleman. I don't know of a lot of middlemen yet. I do think it's starting. There's yeah, I don't want to say who it is because I don't want to slam anybody. And it's really not slamming them, but basically being a middleman where it's going to be more expensive for you. So I would try Instagram vendors and Google and go from there. Yeah, and that is good advice that they give because you don't want to get it from a third, fourth, fifth, however many. Is a middleman like the Lash Supply who claims they help you retail? Maribel, is that on Instagram? Because I could tell you. Let's see. The Lash Supply. Huh. Oh, they're a physical store. No. So think of it like this. So it says they help with private labeling. Yeah, that'd be a middleman. Yeah. I'm not saying it's bad, but you're not gonna have as much money in your pocket at the end of the day. And some of these products I've just stopped carrying because I literally will make pennies on some of this stuff. So you really have to do your cost analysis after the shipping they charge you and all this other stuff. If you're selling out of it, if it's depreciating, some stuff like glue rings, I would have to order thousands for me to make it profitable from the manufacturers I've seen. It doesn't mean that they're not out there where you could buy less, but the ones that I've priced out so far, I'm like, why would I sell this? I'd have to sell 100% of them to break even. It doesn't make sense. So I want you to keep that in mind whenever you're choosing it. I would look for the vendors from overseas. I think that's how one way you're going to know it's not a middleman. Yeah. Or if, it would be kind of like wholesaling, where if you get your own line and you want to give it to a beauty supply company for a wholesale price, you're taking less money, but they're buying more. So you're still making some money. So, but you're still the middleman. So they'd be the middleman, right? If that makes sense. Okay. All right, my loves. Let me know if you have any more questions in the group. We'll go ahead and close it here. Thank you so much for being here. I think it's really awesome that you guys are doing this. Yes, thank you to Maribel. Thank you, Janet. Thanks for hanging in there those first 10 minutes that I was having issues. I appreciate that. Again, this will be in the Facebook group for you guys to rewatch at any time. And I'll put the link for the next class. If you want to join it, you'll have 24 hours to do that too. Thank you guys so, so much. And I look forward to seeing what you do. I think this is an amazing thing to have. It's an amazing thing to do, and I'm here to help you. So I'm literally walking the walk with you. I'm just a few steps ahead. Think of it that way. I'm not, Lash Makers $2 million company a year. I hope to be at some point, but I'm really closer to you in where you're at, so I can give you more tangible advice when it comes to what you're doing to start out. Okay. Everybody has to start somewhere. Nobody started with $1 million companies. So if you can just get that ball rolling and get started, you'd be shocked at what you can have done. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Have an amazing Thursday and a great weekend. And I appreciate you guys so much. Remember, this class is also a tax write-off. So save your email for your accountant, okay? All right, guys, have a great day. Thank you.